Have you ever wanted to escape your life? Hello and welcome to today's insight. I'm talking about Monday, I'm pre-recording this. On Monday morning, I saw a report, a newscast on how people were getting so high that they are becoming zombies, right? With fentanyl and all those things. And I personally remembered the first time I actually saw someone that was so high and doing this outside that I was shocked. I was actually in the taxi and I just noticed this person who was hunched over and didn't really do much. And I was like, why? Because to my mind, wanting to check out of your own reality is a trauma. You are so traumatized by what you have experienced or what you have gleaned from your experience that you no longer want to be a part of life. And to me, that is quite sad. I am on the opposite end of that, in the sense of I lived something so traumatic that I want to get back to what I used to be and even better. Right? Now, these people live something so traumatic that they want to escape their own reality, which to me boggles my mind because that's not the way I approached my trauma. So they're approaching it from the complete opposite spectrum, which I completely understand, even though I don't understand it. I get where they're coming from, and at the same time I don't get it, because I'm like, why? I mean, there's so much benefit that this lifetime gives us, at least that's the way I see it, that it wouldn't even cross my mind to be like, okay, I just want to check out. Really. And I find that is so unfortunate because life has so many beautiful things to give, but I feel like because they were dealt a bad hand in their youth, I feel like they just never learned how to deal with reality or deal with what they were going through. And because they were going through something hard, they experienced the way they viewed everything following that was hard. Or the way they experienced everything else was through that lens. And I find that the way I would go about it, and I'm not saying that this will fit every situation, I'm just saying this is how what I do when I find myself in a low point is, number one, I am appreciative I list everything I'm appreciative of, and I try to foresee something slightly better. It is impossible to go from a very shitty situation to a spectacular situation. I'm aware of that. Okay, don't think that I'm telling you, like, you can imagine something grandiose at the end of it all. No, you can't. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I myself have experienced this myself. I'm reiterating what I just said. I myself have lived this personally. Okay? And the reason why is because after my accident, I'm going to continue keep going back to that, but after my accident, the recovery phase took 7 years. Okay? 7 years, and I had given myself 5, but I was like, no, I'm going to get better in 5 years. Took me 7. though the important thing here is that's why that came to mind. All right, so I find that people so so absorbed with their current reality and what they can actually see that they can't project themselves into a future that they want. The way I do it is that I have my objectives. So I have my objective of getting better, looking like nothing happened in 5 years. At 5 years, that did not happen. But I was better. I was better than what I was the day I woke up from my induced coma. And so I allowed myself, I'm going to tell you how I did this. So I'm going to tell you, I gave myself like a week to like be like, oh, I'm so sad, oh, I'm depressed, da, 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 life is meaningless, and all that jazz. And I think it took like a day where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't not work on my objective. So basically, I told myself I'd give myself a week of being all like in a low point, not wanting to work on myself, not doing anything, just wallowing in my pity. And at the end of one day, I was like, oh hell no, I can't do this. This is such a low point. I don't like it. I definitely have to get up. I definitely have to work on myself. I definitely have to do better. It took me one day. I couldn't take it no more. Like, yes. So after that entire day of wallowing in pity and feeling sorry for myself, I was like, Talar, stop it. We need to get back on our feet. We need to work on this project or this objective. Even if it's going to take us longer, we're going to work on it until we get there. Until we get there. That's what I told myself. And it took me 2.5 years to finally get there. And I got there. So when I got there, I was so pleased. But the key here is you don't stop until you achieve your objective. That's it. You don't stop. You don't stop. You continue working on it. Objectives and timelines are good to keep you motivated, but to stop yourself from working on it because you didn't hit your objective is folly. Seriously, it's very short-sighted and it will not actually allow you to reach for the stars. Okay? So you gotta continue. You got to continue. And so the reason why I say this is because I feel people nowadays might, because of this instant gratification, they aren't necessarily equipped to deal with pitfalls, to deal with disappointment, to deal with all the negative things that come in life. Because of all of that, I feel like they are taking shortcuts to achieving the wanted result. And I feel like people, the individuals that can definitely assist with this are parents. Parents who raise their children right. But yet again, okay, if people are looking for instant gratification and basing the reason why they're getting married on the wrong reasons, that might not happen. You know, I actually had a conversation with one of my drivers today, my taxi drivers, and I was telling him on how the reason why it took me so long to find a boyfriend was because I wasn't going to settle for anyone, right? My objective was to be a mother. And yes, the clock is ticking, but I mean, starting a family with the wrong individual is very, very, very bad because you're setting the wrong example to your kids. I mean, I see so many people coming from divorced parents and all that, and I myself am very pleased that my parents are still together, even though I know for a fact that, it's hard. So I know that this takes effort, this takes time, this takes work. So finding the right person to get married to is key, is crucial. So now, coming back to people wanting to check out from their reality because they're not happy, because they were not the right values were not necessarily instilled in them, and because of this yearning for instant gratification, when in actuality, to live a good life, you need to go through some struggle that will delay gratification. So this concept of delayed gratification needs to be instilled within children at a young age, in my opinion. Now, what is your opinion? Do you share my view on this topic? Ponder that.